we should be back now. We've had to swap phones, so I'll pass you back over to Lee.
Swap the direction.
How do you do that?
I don't know. It's one
There.
of those, isn't it? That's it.
There you go.
Okay. Hello again, everybody. Apologies. Must have been my Birmingham dulcet tones that stopped the signal. Okay, so we're back onto the sit to stand. Middle version is Nathan. Nathan's added some weight to the movement there. He's got a 0.5 medicine ball. I can see he's really struggling. There's a 4 kilo medicine ball, and that's it. Just a nice full range of movement, keeping the feet flat on the floor. Again, hip width apart. Okay, now we go up to Jack, who's doing the third version, the hard version of this. And there, if you see Jack, again, he's added the weight, but what he's also doing, he's coming up onto his toes. Okay? Right, so choose the level which is comfortable for you. Just remember you can alternate levels as you go along. Okay, so each station is for a minute, and we're looking at working till we're about the somewhat hard level on the RPE chart, okay? Which is somewhere in here. Okay, right, so as we're running a bit behind, we need to get started now, okay? So 3, 2, 1, off you go. So there's Becky, look. Becky's doing the easy version of the sit to stand. Nice, comfortable, just sitting up and standing up there. Full extension of the hips, keeping the knees straight and locking the feet onto the floor. Don't see any of those heel movements. And there's Nathan, looking very serious. Nathan's added weight to this movement. Okay, it's probably why he's looking so serious. And as we come up to Jack at the end, again, Jack having tunnel vision, he's fully focused on his move. If you see Jack, look, he's coming up onto his toes, keeping that weight against his chest. Okay. Great job, everybody. 2 seconds left remaining. Okay. Swap over. Let's go on to our next exercise. Our next exercise is deadlift. For this, all we're going to do is do a deadlift movement, but using a chair. So this time, Louise has got the easy version of the exercise. And so what you're going to do, you're going to slightly keep your knees nice and soft, and then just tilt over from the hip, pushing through that chair up. Okay, keep the chair in close towards you if you can. That's it. And put it back down again. Okay, so we go on to Becky. Becky's going to do the same movement, but this time she's added a bit of weight to the chair. Okay, so if you see, nice bend in the legs, good hinge through the hips, and then just pushing through and standing nice and tall with that chair. Okay, and up to the advanced level of the exercise, it's Ben. Ben's added a bit more weight to the movement, and he's going a fraction faster. Again, good hip hinge, keeping those knees nice and soft and keeping the feet flat on the floor, keeping that nice straight back. Okay, it's very important that you keep a nice straight back during this exercise. Okay, and if you see at the door, we've got somebody from Hull who's just popping his head in. Okay, so we need to get started again. So 3, 2, 1, off you go. Okay, so there's Louise, look. Keeping that back nice and straight. Bit more of a bend in the knees. Okay, it's good. Molly Gibbons is now watching. Say hello to Molly. And there's Becky. Again, smiling while she's working. It's always a good sign. Again, keeping that back nice and straight. So it's a good pivot movement from the hips. And here we come up to Ben. That's it. who's just moving that bit faster, and of course he's got a little bit more weight on the chair. Okay, again he's showing off, yeah. He's keeping his game face on there because again he looks very serious. We've got 8 seconds left, everybody. This is good work. Okay, keep going. Okay, and that's it. Okay, if you want to grab a drink in between exercises, feel free. Right, so next one is kickbacks. Right, so what we've done on this one, we've turned the chairs round and we're going on to the easy version of this exercise. This is Nathan. Nathan's just taken his heels up towards his bottom in a nice slow controlled movement, keeping a nice good posture again, nice upright stance, and just using the chair for a bit of assistance. Okay, then if we move on to Jack, Jack's doing the middle version of this exercise. Jack's just taking his legs that bit further, so it's like a kick out, and then again bringing his heel up towards his bottom. Okay, again, nice flat back, just using the chair for assistance. And the hard one on this one, we've got Louise. That's it, so Louise is bringing her knee up and then kicking right the way out. Okay? And what we're going to do, we're going to switch legs halfway through. Okay, so is everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, off you go. Okay, so if we go down to Nathan, who's doing the easy version. That's it, so you can see his nice tall posture. Head up, facing forwards, and taking the heels up towards the bottom in a nice, slow, controlled manner. That's it again. Make sure you work at the level that's acceptable for you. Okay, you can switch between levels if you need to. Let's go on to Jack's level, which is the middle level. Again, Jack's just going a bit faster and a bit increased range of movement with those legs. Again, taking his heel not far away from his bottom, keeping that back nice and straight. Using the chair for assistance. Yeah, you're well over halfway, I'm afraid. So, my mistake. Okay, so in the last one with Louise, she's bringing her knee right up and kicking right the way out with the heel. Okay, so it's a fully extended movement. And that is it. Well done, everybody. Unfortunately, I forgot to warn you of halfway. I'll get it right next time. Okay, so the next one is tricep dips. Okay, so we'll go down to the easy one of this exercise, which is Becky. Becky's just using the arms of the chair just to lift up. Okay, again, she's keeping her back nice and straight, feet flat on the floor, and just using the arms to try and push up. Okay? Right, so as we go on to the next version of this exercise, this is Ben. Again, Ben's taking a step out, and Ben's using the edge of the chair and just taking his bottom down. It's just a shallow move. Again, it's more pressure on the top of his arms. Again, will I see his arms shaking? And then we go on to Nathan, who's doing the harder version of this. Nathan has taken his feet out a bit further. And he's going a bit further down. Okay, so there's an increased range of movement with Nathan. His bottom's a bit further away from a chair, and the speed that he's increased as well. Okay, so if you pick what level is right for you, and we'll get ready to start. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, off you go. So we'll focus on Becky to start with. Again, she's smiling while she's working, which is always good. Keeping a nice flat back. And she's just pushing up. If you watch, the feet are firmly flat on the floor and just lifting through those arms. It's as if she's just pushing herself up to get off the settee to get a nice ice cream. Okay? And I'm not encouraging alcohol. And there we go along to Ben. We're halfway, by the way, in this exercise. This is Ben, who's on the middle version. It's just a nice deeper movement from Ben, but again, he's off the chair and he's just taking that movement a bit further. Again, feet are flat on the floor. Okay, and then we'll go up to Nathan for the final version. And again, Nathan, he's taking that movement just that bit further with the speed as well, okay? Okay, well done everybody. That's your fourth station done. So if we go on to station 5, which is a seated step over. Okay, so first one is Louise. So Louise is sat in the chair. She's going to imagine that she's got an object on the floor and she's just taking her legs over it, okay? So one at a time, just taking her feet up and over. Okay, while sitting up nice and tall in the chair, engaging those upper body muscles to keep that posture nice and tall. Again, then now we're coming on to Jack. Jack's doing the middle version of the exercise. He's sat a bit further back in the chair, again keeping himself nice and tall, but what he's doing this time, both feet are together and he's taking them up and over, but what he's doing, he's touching after each one, touching the floor. That's it. Just to give you a bit of a break, that's it, it's good. And then we go on to Ben, who's doing the advanced version of the exercise. So Ben, he's moved himself forward, he's sat on the edge of the chair, and it's a constant movement with Ben, so he's not touching his feet on the floor, his legs are a bit further out, and it's just a continuous movement, okay? But again, keeping that upright body nice and tall, so to engage those core muscles. Right, so we'll go 3, 2, 1, and then off we go. So we'll start with Louise. Again, sitting up nice and tall. You can use the arms of the chair to rest on. That's it, so it's just a nice continuous movement, but touching each foot down as you step over. Okay, now we'll go on to Jack. Jack's looking very, very, very serious at the moment. I can actually feel the concentration. That's it, it's touching his feet down after each one. But again, he's trying to keep his body nice and tall, engaging his core muscles as he's going. As Ben is really working up here. Whoa, took me a bit by surprise. Right, so if you look at the speed and the continuous movement that Ben's doing, he's not touching his feet on the floor. And he's still managing to keep himself nice and tall. Again, choose what level is correct for you. Okay, that's good work. That's your minute done. So as we go on to station 6, which is single arm row. Okay, so if we go down to Louise, who's playing musical chairs as I walk along. Right, so you can stand at the back of the chair, so it's a slight hinge from the hips, keeping that back nice and straight, and you just bringing that arm up in a nice, slow, controlled manner. That's it. It's fully pulling through. And what we're going to do, if I remember to announce it, we're going to switch arms after halfway. Okay, so I'll go on to Becky now. Becky's got one arm resting on the chair, feet in a nice wide stance and a nice straight back, and she's just bringing that weight up. That's it. Not too high, she's just bringing that weight up just till it touches bottom of her chest there. That's it, keeping that nice, the arm nice, right angle. Okay, and we move on to Nathan, Nathan's got a split stance with this one, and it's more of an explosive move. So as he's pulling up, it's increased that range of movement, and he's pulling right the way through with that arm. And again, hopefully we'll remember to say halfway. Okay, so let's get ready. So say 3, 2, 1, off we go. So we go down to Louise. And I'll give you a brief moment with each person. There's Louise. Just moving that arm. Trying to keep that back straight. Okay, using the chair, keep feet flat on the floor, feet hip width apart. Okay, so again, Becky's in the same stance. Becky's got her feet hip width apart, using one arm on the chair, keeping the back nice and straight, bringing that arm up till it's at a nice right angle, and she's actually smiling as well. Okay, we've got halfway. I remembered then, with the help of others. And I can see Nathan's just changed arms. If we watch him from the front, that's it, you can see the good range of movement that he's got. Okay, again, he's keeping his back nice and straight with a nice split stance. Okay, we've got the last 5 seconds, everybody. Keep going. Okay, that's it. Okay, excuse me. We're on to our last exercise, which is chair jump. Don't get too concerned. I'm not going to make you jump over the chair. It's just a different term. Okay, so the first one is Nathan. And Nathan's just doing more of an explosive sit to stand. Okay, so it's just a faster movement. Really squeezing that body up. That's it. And really thrusting that pelvis forward. Okay, I'll have to excuse me. Right. And then we go on to Ben. That's it. So Ben's doing what we call a box squat. So basically his bottom's just touching that chair. Okay, and he's coming up in more of an explosive stance. Okay, his feet just coming up onto his toes. And that's a nice continuous movement again. Now we're going on to Jack. Jack's doing the advanced movement. And that's it. So every third one of these movements, Jack's going to do a jump. Okay, so wait for third again. There we go. Okay, so pick what level is right for you, and we'll get ready to start. So 3, 2, 1, off you go. Okay, we'll go down to Nathan. Look, it's a nice slow controlled movement. That's it. So it's just sitting and standing up, but just taking it up that level from that first exercise. Oh, we've got a guest watching. We've got Tommy Lewis. He's watching. Keep going. Okay. Right, so we'll go on to the middle version, which is Ben. And there's Ben. More of a continuous movement. Again, his bottom's just touching that chair. Coming up onto his toes. You've got 25 seconds left. And I've just come on. Oh, look, we've just got Jack's jump. What we're going to do, we're going to wait here so we can get a few more of these jumps. That's it, there it goes. And let's have a look at his face while he gets the next one in.
This is for you, Tom.
There we go. Okay, that's it, everybody. And that is the end of your first circuit. Okay, so if you'd like to have a walk around, we're all going to cool down for a couple of minutes, just so we can get some water or some fluid on board. Have a towel, so you might want to towel yourself down because it's hard work doing all this, it's hard work watching. And as you can see, the team are walking around, so there's Nathan, taking a well-earned drink. There's Ben, just after he's sanitised, setting a well-deserved example. There's Louise, there's Becky, and Jack. Okay, so make sure that if any of those exercises were too hard, let's say you can switch between each level. Make sure you pick the right level for you. And again, we're not trying to work too hard during this. We're trying to work to around level 13, 14 on the RPE scale, okay, which is the scale that we see every week. Okay, so those are the levels that we're working towards. Okay. So once you've got a drink and everybody's ready again, we'll go into the next circuit. So on our way back round, if the team would like to take their positions. Okay, we are back. Round 2. Let it commence. Right, so we've got sit to stand. Becky's on the easy one. Okay, so it's just a nice controlled movement, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, nice straight back. a nice full extension of the movement. Okay, so Nathan is doing it with some weight, so he's got a medicine ball in front of him. Again, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, nice flat back. So again, you're just using those hips to tap bottom down first. Okay, and we go on to the third movement, which is Jack. What Jack's doing, Jack's got a bit more weight, but he's also coming up onto his toes after each move. Okay, again, good posture throughout. Okay, so we go straight into the exercise. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. And we're going to enter Becky to start with. Is she smiling? Yeah, she's smiling. Okay, it's a good continuous movement. Again, keeping those feet flat on the floor. We'll go back up to Nathan. Nathan looking very serious. He's got his game face on at the moment. Tunnel vision. Feet flat on the floor. And again, nice flat back. Moving those hips back towards the chair to sit down. Okay, and as we got Jack. Again, nice good posture, nice flat back. Just moving his hips back, bottom touch the floor, touch the chair first, and then he's coming up onto his toes after each movement. Okay, so if we look down, we've got the 3 people all going. Pick your correct level, people. You've got 6 seconds left. Okay, and that's it. Well done, everybody. Good work. We're going on to our second station, which is chair deadlift. Okay, so the easy one, we've got Louise. Okay, so Louise, got slight bend in the legs. Make sure pivot from the hips, keeping that back nice and straight. Just lifting that chair as we go. Okay, so you don't need to lift the chair too high. Just so we're comfortable, make the hips do all the work, okay? Keep that back nice and straight and push through your heels when you're lifting up, okay? So you look at Becky, she's got a nice flat back, good bend in the legs, keeping that chair quite close towards her, and she's also got added weight on the chair, okay? And as we go up to Ben, Ben's got a bit more weight on the chair. Again, he's got more of an increased hip hinge. Still keeping the knees nice and soft and keeping that chair nice and close towards him with, like I said, a bit more weight. Okay, if we're ready, we'll start the exercise now. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. We're going down to Louise. There's Louise. And we've got some more on at the door again. And keep going, Louise. Okay, it's good. Right, so as we come up to Becky, Becky's still smiling, so this is good. Perhaps it means the weight isn't heavy enough. Again, nice flat back. Good bend in the legs, feet flat on the floor. And then we got Ben, who's looking very serious. Okay, and he's pivoting, not keeping the back nice and straight, feet flat on the floor, keeping that chair nice and close towards him. Okay, with his arms okay, his arms close to his body. Right, you've got 15 seconds left, everybody. Keep moving if you can. Okay, remember, just work at your own level. We've got 5 seconds. Okay, well done, everybody. Good work. We're going to swap places again. We're going on to our third station, which is kickbacks. Right, so we're going down to Nathan first, and Nathan's doing the easy version of the exercise. So Nathan's just using the back of the chair for assistance, bit of support, keeping the back nice and flat, nice good posture, and just taking his heels up towards his bottom. And a nice slow controlled movement. Next we go up to Jack, who's doing the middle part of the exercise. So Jack's doing the medium part. What's Jack's doing? It's a faster movement, and again, more of an increased range of movement, but he's again, heel up towards the bottom, keeping his back nice and flat, just using the chair for assistance. Whereas we go up to Louise. where Louise is bringing her knee up towards the chest and then kicking right out. Okay, using the chair for assistance still, but keeping that back as flat as possible. Okay? Right, so nice good posture throughout. Get ready to start the exercise. So we go 3, 2, 1, off you go. Right, so we go down to Nathan. That's it. So Nathan just slowly taking his heels up towards his bottom. Nice continuous movement, slow and controlled. Good posture throughout. There's Jack, increasing the movement, increased range of movement, a bit more dynamic. Again, keeping that posture nice and strong, nice flat back. And we've got halfway there, so if you'd like to swap sides, especially Louise on this last one. Again, because this is a good, strong movement, bring the knee right up to the chest and then kicking out with that leg there. Okay, so make sure you pick the right level for you, everybody. If you need to slow down at all, make sure you do, because some of these movements can be quite challenging to keep up for the minute. Okay, good work. You've got 5 seconds. Okay, good work. Well done. Right, everybody's looking very serious. I need to bring a bit of life into this today. Right, for the next one, we've got tricep dips. And here I'll make my way to Rebecca Evans, who's doing the easy version of the exercise. She's in feet flat on the floor. She's just using the sides of the chair just to lift up. Again, keeping that back nice and straight. Again, continuous movement. Okay, so we go up to the medium one, which is Ben. Ben's just increasing that movement a bit, bringing his feet further forward and taking his bottom actually off the chair. And it's just a shallow movement down. Okay, make sure he keeps his feet flat on the floor. Again, continuous movement. If you need a break while you're doing these movements, that's fine. You can do them in little blocks. Okay, now we go on to Nathan doing the advanced exercise. Nathan's going straight down to the floor. He's moved his feet out further, so his legs are pretty much straight. And an increased range of movement as well. So just, if you see his arms at the end, pretty much like a right angle where it should be. Okay? Right, so we're getting ready to start the exercise. Look happy, everybody. I'm on my way. Okay? 3, 2, 1, off you go. Say hello, Jack. Right. Okay, there's Becky. She's just pushing up. She's looking very serious, so I'm going now. Right, so now I'm coming up to Ben. Ben's looking very serious as I close. Feet flat on the floor. Good range of movement. And you're just coming to halfway, everybody, so keep going if you can. If you need to take a little break at home, you can do. Just go at your own level, remember. Okay, it's on Nathan. Good range of movements. Again, nice, slow and controlled. Again, keeping his arms at that nice right angle, keeping that back nice and flat. Head looking straight out in front. Okay, and that's it, everybody. That's your 4th one done. We go on to our 5th station, which is seated step over. Right, so as I make my way down to the beginner's part, which is Louise. Louise sitting back firmly in the chair, sitting up nice and tall. What she's doing, just taking one leg over at a time. So imagine you had an object on the floor, you had to step over. She's just taking one leg over at a time. Okay, keeping the posture nice and tall, so sitting up nice and straight. Next one, we go along to Jack. Again, Jack's holding onto the chair, keeping himself nice and tall. But his legs, both legs are coming up together, but he's touching the ground after each one. Okay? That's a good movement. Okay, now we go on to Ben, who's doing the advanced version of the exercise. So what Ben's doing again, Ben's holding onto the chair, keeping his back nice and straight, but what he's also doing, both feet are together, and he's not touching the floor. Okay, his legs are a bit further extended, but it's a continuous movement for the minute. Okay, so we're going to get ready to start. So we'll say 3, 2, 1, off you go. Right, so we come down to Louise. Again, Louise, sitting up nice and tall. She's smiling, which is always good. And then... They probably wouldn't know, no. Then she's just taking a nice step over. Then we go up to Jack, who's holding onto the chair for dear life here. Giving himself a nice good posture, a nice slow controlled movement, keeping both feet together but touching the floor after each move. Okay, now we go up to Ben, who's working nice and hard, holding onto the chair, keeping his body nice and straight, keeping those legs together, feet together, and feet off the floor. Okay, good movements. Okay, keep going if you can. You've got the last 3 seconds. Okay, everybody, that's the end of your 5th station. So we'll go on to our 6th one, which is single arm row. Okay, so we're going down to Louise, who's got the easy version. So what she's doing, she's got her feet hip width apart, slight tilt at the hips, holding onto the chair with the other arm, and she's just bringing her arm back up and down, keeping that the arm where she's lifting. Nice slow controlled movement, just up to a right angle at the end of the move. Okay, we'll go up to Becky. Becky's added weight to this movement. Feet hip width apart again, holding onto the chair, but difference is she's just got that weight. Nice slow controlled movement again, taking that arm just up to a nice angle at the end with no further points, no jerky movements, no slow controlled manner. There's Nathan. So Nathan's got a split stance on this one, and it's more of an explosive movement. Okay, so keeping that back straight, which is very important, so make sure you get a good posture throughout. Okay, so if I remember, I will shout out halfway so you can all switch sides. So let's get started. We've got 3, 2, 1, off you go. We're going down to our first station, which is Louise. Again, Louise just bringing the arm up in a nice controlled manner again. We're going along to Becky. Becky's starting to look serious now, so I'm managing that weight's kicking in. Again, feet hip width apart, nice flat back. 3 seconds and you can switch over. Okay, so that's halfway, so Nathan's just switched. Okay, so again on this one, got the wide stance. Nathan's got a flat back, keeping that posture nice and not so straight, not so strong, holding onto the chair with the other arm. And again, it's a controlled movement. It's a full range of movement, but it's a controlled movement. Okay? Right, you've got 6 seconds left. Keep going. Okay, everybody, move round. Jack and Ben were sitting down. I've got them up because it's time for the final exercise, which is the chair jump. Right, so we're going down to Nathan. Nathan's doing the first part of this exercise, which is a more explosive version of the sit to stand. Okay, so as he's standing forward, shooting up, that's it. And taking himself back down in a nice slow controlled manner, feet even, hip width apart. Just moving that part of his back so he can touch the bottom on the chair first. Okay, so now we're going up to Ben. More of an increased range of movement with Ben. He's just touching that chair with his bottom, keeping his feet on the floor, just coming up onto his toes at the end of the movement. Okay, so it's more of a continuous movement. We go on to the last one, which is Jack. Jack's coming onto his toes, and on every third one, he'll put a jump in. Okay? So I'll give you one more jump to demonstrate. And up again. There we go. Again, so last exercise, make sure you check, make sure you choose the right level for you, and we'll get started. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, off you go. So here we are with Nathan doing the first version of the exercise. Again, feet firmly on the floor. Nice, good posture, nice flat back. Just moving those hips back, letting that bottom touch the chair first. Coming up in an explosive fashion, then controlled sit down. Now we move up to Ben. So more of an explosive, continuous move with Ben. His bottom's just touching the chair, and he's also coming up onto his toes. You're halfway through, everybody. seconds left. Again, continuous movement. We'll go up to Jack now. We're watching from the front, just so we can see his pain. There goes the first jump. And there he comes from the side. Again, it's coming up on the toes, and then every third one, there goes the jump. Okay, you've got 6 seconds. Keep going, everybody. Okay, that's it, and that's the end of your circuit. Make sure now that you cool down. You'll see the team walking round, have a very slow walk down. They all still look so serious. It's like an afternoon at St Andrews. For those who don't know what St Andrews is, it's the Temple of Doom, Birmingham City's ground. And there we've got Becky coming round. We've got Nathan coming round. We've got Louise, I don't know what she was doing. Okay, so make sure you have a nice, good cool down after the exercise, everybody. It's important to bring that heart rate and blood pressure back down to pre-exercise levels. Make sure you take plenty of fluids on board. So plenty of drinking of water. When I say fluids, the good types, please. Okay, so it's a nice slow walk round. So it's a nice, good continuous cool down. Okay, and while we're here, just remind you, we've got our next exercise session of the week tomorrow night at 6:15. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that, and we can push the levels up a notch. Okay, so as the team are walking around, we'll just make sure that everybody at home, you make sure you cool down thoroughly and for a bit longer after we've ceased transmission here. So we'll do one more lap, and then we'll get the team to say goodbye, okay? So thanks for everybody for tuning in. Apologies for the technical difficulties earlier on. It's a word I can't even say. And we'll try and rectify them as soon as possible. Okay, so as we're coming round, here's Jack. So goodbye from Jack. There's Becky. Goodbye from Becky. And Nathan. And there's Ben. And Louise. And me. So goodbye, everybody.